My newborn was in the NICU and I had to figure everything out. I know, it's so sad. I hate talking about this. I actually wanted to make a video because I always come on here and I talk to my girls and my guys too. I have a lot of guys who support me and watch my videos, but I talk about business and how to create offers. I don't let you guys into my personal life. This thing has been eating me up. There was a moment in my life where everything fell apart at the same time. My daughter arrived at 24 weeks and had to stay in the NICU. The person I expect to show up for me did not. My mom left during the hardest season of my life and I had two choices: fall apart completely or figure it out. And I chose to figure it out. What I learned in that season about money, survival, and building something real is what I'm going to share with you today. If you're going through something hard right now and you're still trying to build, this video is for you. My name is Jasmine. I help women who make under 100K build real offers from their skills and create income that doesn't depend on anyone else showing up for them, not a partner, not a parent, not an algorithm, just you and what you know how to do. Today, I'm walking you through how to build when everything around you feels unstable, because I've done it and it taught me more than any good season ever could. Now, what happens when your support system disappears? I'm gonna set the scene for you. I had just launched a new business. I had a newborn in the NICU. I was running on no sleep, pure adrenaline, the kind of fear that sits on your chest and does not move. My mom, who I thought would be there, wasn't. Now, I'm not gonna spend this whole video on that pain, because that's not the point. The point is what it forced me to do. When the people you thought would catch you don't show up, you start to realize very quickly that the only safety net that actually holds you is the one you build for yourself. And for me, that meant one thing: I had to make this business work. Not eventually, now, because there was no backup plan. There was no one coming to rescue me. There was just me, my kids, my fiance, and whatever I could figure out. Now, here's what I want you to hear if you're in a season like that right now. The people who don't show up for you are not at the end of your story. They are at the beginning of finding out who you are actually made of, okay? Now, building when you have no margin for error. When you have no safety net, you cannot afford to be vague about your business. You don't have the luxury of figuring it out eventually. You need clarity and you need it fast. The first thing I had to get clear on was exactly what problem I was solving. Not a broad category of people, a woman with a specific problem who needed a specific result, because vague offers don't sell. And when you need income, you cannot afford a vague offer. So I sat down in whatever quiet moments I had, which were not many, and I asked myself these three questions. Who am I already helping? What are they paying me for? Or what would they pay me for? And what result do they walk away with? Those three answers became my offer. You don't need a perfect brand. You don't need a website. You don't need a course, platform, or funnel, any of that. You need a clear answer to those three questions and a way for people to pay you. That's it. That's the foundation. Everything else is built on top of that foundation over time, but you cannot build on air. Get clear on those three things first. Now, how to keep moving when you're running on empty. Now, this is the part that nobody talks about, and you can see I'm choking up. How do you actually keep going when you're exhausted, scared, and grieving something at the same time? Now, the truth is, when my mom left, I was grieving. I was grieving the version of the season I thought I was going to have, the support I thought I had, and I was doing that grief while sitting in a hospital watching my baby fight to breathe and trying to hold a business together at the same time. What kept me going was not motivation. Motivation is not reliable. It comes and goes, and you cannot build a business on something that comes and goes. What kept me going was commitment to an outcome that mattered more than how I felt on any given day. My kids need stability. That was not negotiable. So every day I showed up, not because I felt like it, but because the reason was bigger than the fear. When you are building in a hard season, you have to get very clear on your why. And I mean a real why, not I want financial freedom. That is too abstract. When you're in a survival mode, I mean, what specific thing are you building this for? Who specifically depends on you getting this right? Make it concrete, make it personal. What building alone actually teaches you? Here's the gift I never asked for that came out of this season. When you build alone, you learn that you are more capable than you ever would have discovered if someone had been carrying half the weight for you. Every problem that I solved by myself became evidence that I could solve the next one. Every client I signed without anyone cheering me on became proof that I did not need validation to keep going. I stopped building to prove something to people who would let me down. I stopped building out of anger or spite or the need to show anything to anyone. I started building for me, for my children, for my fiance, for the woman I could help, because I had been exactly where they are. Because when your motivation is external, it's fragile. But when it's internal, it is fuel. If someone left you when you needed them most, I want you to hear this. You do not need them to succeed. You do not need their belief. You don't need their support. You need your skill, your clarity, and the willingness to keep going one day at a time. I don't share that season of my life for sympathy. I share it because I know someone out there who is probably going through the same thing right now, building something while something else is falling apart. And I want you to know that it is possible to do both. It is possible to be in the middle of something painful and still build something real. I'm proof of that. The steps are the same no matter what's going on around you. So get clear on who you help, build a specific offer around a specific problem, and keep going for a reason bigger than how you feel today. If you want the exact framework I use to help women build their offer from scratch, it's in the free workbook linked in the description. Download it and start today. And if this video connected with you, subscribe, because every week I come here and I give you the real version of what building actually looks like. I don't give you no filter, no highlight reel, just strategy and truth. You've got this even if you have to figure it out alone, especially then.